Is it live? I think we are live.
Hey, hello.
How's it going, Candace?
It's going good. I'm a little flustered, not in a bad way. It's just been a long day.
I mean, this is our
But
first time trying, but thank you so much for joining in. I already see like our chat going crazy. I'm very excited about
yes.
it. So this is our first episode of News and Rumor Live. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Thank you for being patient because we were struggling tech wise. Yeah, tech wise, we were struggling. But again, thank you so much for joining in. Candice, do you want to introduce yourself? You're officially joining Ring the Bell News and Rumor series.
I'm so honored to be here. Yes, and your fans are amazing. This is an honor. Candice Cordelia from Pro Wrestling Illustrated, but I am now officially a part of Ring the Bell, as Diaz has just stated, and I'm super happy to be a part of this and kick things off with the news and rumors. And there's a lot of stuff happening. I mean, I looking at the chat, and I think I missed something as I was on the train, but that we'll maybe talk about that at the end. I
Okay,
feel like I
yeah.
missed a lot.
There's a lot to talk about. So how this is gonna happen? So we're gonna I'm just gonna very quickly talk about how we're gonna do this. So we have
Mhm.
3 stories every week that we're gonna go through. So as you can see, the stories that right here you see, these are the stories that we're gonna cover today. And after each story, we're going to answer some of the questions or comments that you have about specifically regarding the story. So make sure to send us chats specifically about the story. And at the end of the stream, after we're done with the 3 stories, we'll be opening up for the Q&A session. Anything goes. You can ask me anything. Are you a top or bottom? Whatever. Whatever.
That's how we're doing.
Who's the hottest WWE superstar? Whatever you want, we can ask that. And we want this to be also be watchable for people who can't not be joining live. So we
Mhm.
can't go too off topic. I'm just letting you know. We'll try our bestest to be on a straight line, even though I'm very gay. We will try. Yeah. So basically, we're gonna try out this format for like a month and see how we like it.
Yeah.
Our plan eventually is to turn the chat into members only, but that's later month, whatever. After some trial, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Are we ready?
Yes. I'm ready. I think
Yeah.
the chat's super ready. They were born ready.
Yes, we are. All right, so let's start from our first story of the week.
Mm.
So a little graphic. Oop, there you go. Starting with our first story. So you see the 2 beloved vets of WWE, Tamina and Natalya, because we're going to talk about the future of these 2 veterans in WWE. The Diva. They were here for the Divas division, Natalya and Tamina. So there have been a lot of questions going around, like the future of Natalya and Tamina, what we like to call them, Team Natamina. So let's talk about Natalya first. So the news that was going around was that Natalya's deal was done late June. So people are all like talking about, oh, will she be finally leaving WWE? Will she be looking into something outside of WWE? And like, Mercedes and AEW doing like best there is, best there was. All that teases were like, oh my god, Natalya in AEW? But no, the latest update is the PW Insider reported that Natalya has re-signed with WWE. A deal was completed late June, shortly before her deal was expired, and she has not. But she hasn't been on any WWE shows since re-signing, but she is indeed re-signed. Apparently, during the renegotiation process, there were a lot of talks about doing outside projects. I think she like teased to remember the Iron Claw, right? She's teased to making like
Yeah.
about her family, and obviously the Total Divas show that their family is freaking hilarious. So that could be in the future. But seriously, she's been with the company for 17 years. She can do like whatever she wants, but she has decided to stay with the company. What's your thought, Candice?
I am not surprised by this. Maybe I shouldn't have been surprised that people were automatically thinking, oh, she jumped to AEW, but Natty is so entrenched in WWE. I mean, she's been there for many, many, many years. It seems like she's beloved there. The fans love her. I just couldn't even envision her in AEW. And I know in wrestling, it's a whole, you never know what can happen. Anything is possible. But I would have been super shocked if she went to AEW. So whatever deal they cut must have been the best deal for her, signing onwards. And I'm here for it. I mean, I just couldn't imagine Natty not being in WWE. She's
Right.
just one of those vets that it's, yeah.
But all at the same time, like seeing her all the way, literally she's been in company for 17 years, and seeing her
Yeah.
like just be in the division for so long. And then
Mhm.
we started seeing her in NXT a little bit, having that match with Lola Vice, and we got a little bit of a different taste of Natalya, and I honestly kind of liked it. So that I
Mhm.
know that WWE and Natalya like just goes together so well, but I feel like watching that, it almost made me feel like I kind of wanted to see Natalya outside of WWE. Maybe TNA now that the collaboration is still going on.
That'd be cool. TNA, I could see it, especially as you mentioned the collaboration. But just and someone just stated in the chat, they have a super good point. I mean, WWE is in her blood. It's just generations of the hearts. I just could not imagine her saying, you know what, maybe I need to step out, do something else, go elsewhere. Like I said, I would have been super shocked if she did that. More power to her, because it's all business at the end of the day. But I just could not have fathomed.
And the report also talked about how like WWE really thought losing Natalya was a real possibility, given that she has been working with a lot of talents from AEW, Stardom, TNA, because she has a dojo now. She's been working with talents from other company, because she's like, the dojo is open for anyone that loves pro wrestling. So WWE thought that was a possibility, so they wanted to really get her signed ASAP, long term, before she hits that free agency. And especially given how like Natalya's booking has been kind of weird, and kind of weak, I'll say. She's never had a good booking, let's be honest. She really went to the bottom of the bottom of the bottom with the farting gimmick. And so I wonder if this new signing, we are getting something better. So there's that. And let's go to talk about, let's start talking about Tamina.
Love it.
Now, this news happened pretty recently, but according to PW Nexus, Tamina Snuka has been removed from the internal WWE rosters. And also following that, Fightful Select reported that Tamina was no longer expected to be used as an on-screen character, and that she hasn't been appearing regularly at WWE TV tapings in months. So she's been basically MIA for a very long time. Yeah, Tamina's official status in WWE remains unclear, but let's see. What did the news say? Oh, they said it wouldn't be surprising for her to remain within WWE in some capacity due to her long being viewed as a locker room leader and the mother of the women's division. Right. And I was actually looking into it. I was like, when was the last time I saw Tamina in WWE?
Right.
And I gotta be honest, I completely forgot about this. It's 2022 August. She participated in a second chance fatal 4-way match. Guess who her partner was? It was a tag team match. Guess who her partner was here?
I want to see if they guess it.
No, you, Candace. You
me?
it.
I'm like, are you posing that to the Well, it seems to me that it was Dana Brooke. Am I right?
How did you know?
Hey, I mean, she's been out of the ring for a hot minute, but listen, that was a match.
I literally forgot about that match. Tamina and Dana teaming?
Listen.
Oh, actually, I remember that. Actually, they got married. Oh my god, maybe was that this?
I think that was the whole marriage, and that's why I remembered it. I think that was the whole marriage scenario. That was crazy. That was really crazy. I liked that a lot. It was so ridiculous.
It makes sense. I was like, Dana. And I was like, oh, they married. Okay. So I remember that. Yeah. So she's been gone for a very long time. What do you think, Candace?
I can see her taking on a backstage role at this point, just because she's, off of the roster. I think this is her transition, because she's a vet in the sense that Natty is, right? It's in her blood. So I think the only next logical step for Tamina is to do some sort of backstage role, whether that's coaching, perhaps producing. I see it. I envision it. I think she would be fantastic in a backstage role, because she's been there for so long. She's, a vet that people love and they also trust, it seems. And I think that she could excel in whatever she decides to do behind the scenes.
Now, I want to ask, like, before we move on from this first story, I want to ask the chat. The first question I want to ask the chat is, do you see championship? Do you see gold in Natalya's future? Let me ask that real quick. Let me make that up. Do you see
Let's see.
gold championship in Natty's future? What do you think, Candace?
I would hope so. But my first inclination is no. I'm seeing that, and I hate saying that, but it's just with the way things are going, the way that they're building the roster now, I don't know if giving her gold even in the next 6 months will be something that's viable. I want to see it on her though, but I don't think it's going to happen. Not within the next year, at least. I just don't think it's going to happen. Maybe it will in the next 2 years. We'll see. But I don't think so. Yeah.
You know, one thing I love about Natalya is her random pair. Well, I actually don't love it. I lied. I don't love it. But I do love some of her tag teams, like her and Beth. So legendary. Her
oh my gosh.
and Tamina. I'll say that was one of my favorite tag teams. So I would honestly, I don't know. I would love to see her as a singles champion, but I don't know if it's in her future. I definitely want to see her as a tag champion. I think that's doable. Like,
I
honestly,
think that's doable too.
The fact that Bella Twins haven't been a tag champion in WWE, the fact that Divas of Doom hasn't been a tag champion in WWE, I think that is criminal. So let's change that.
Yeah, you make a great point. And I'm seeing in the chat too, people are co-signing this. I think tag team titles would work, or, the rumors of these new titles that we'll talk about eventually, that could be in the picture. I didn't even think about that at first, but perhaps if they introduce these new titles, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Let's see if there's any good chat that we want to talk about. Let's see. Jeffrey said Natalya could join Sonya Deville, Shayna, and Zoe Stark. I don't know if they have the same energy. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't think.
Sonya, Shayna, and Zoe have a very specific energy. They're literally like their thing is like scissoring each other. So I don't know.
I saw that. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't know if that's necessarily the vibe that I see Natalya with, but let me see.
Never
Anyone else?
Wait, let's see. I'm scrolling up. Whatever happened to Natty and Tegan tag team?
Well, I'm glad that's done, because that was kind of weird. They were really forcing that one.
Yeah, it seemed that way.
Yeah, that was really. I didn't like that, and. Well, the whole Tegan situation is another conversation, but I don't think Tegan gained much from both working with Becky and working with Natty, which is really sad, because that was
it is sad.
Was both pretty big push. I will wrap up the future. I'll wrap up the vote here. This is why I usually don't do live, by the way, because I am ESL. You
get so wrapped up in the comments.
I know. I'm a botched mania. I know that you guys, some of you are like, what, DS, why do you always talk about botches? Because I botch all the time.
Botching is a natural part of life. We all make mistakes. Botching is
part of life. Come on, it's fun. It's fun to talk about botches. So, you know what? You guys are feeling very generous, and you guys are very respectful for the legend, Natalya. 36% said yes, you see the future of championship on her. No is 30%, so that's really fun. Okay, let's move to the second story, shall we? Boom! The second story. Now, second story is big. And this is a story that's been going on for a very long time, that all the time that I just haven't been doing news and rumor. So, decided to just talk about it all at once. Now, NXT is signing tons of women, and they're really trying to build. It's already, I will say, one of the best women's division right now, NXT. but it's really trying to beat everyone's ass and become the best women's division of all time. Because Shawn Michaels knows what he's doing, and he's actually doing a really good job getting some hot guys too. So he's really girlies for gays. I knew it when the moment he posed for Playgirl, I knew that he would be serving gays.
You already knew. Yes, Chef Sean, we love it. Cooking.
So okay, so the first one we have to talk about is Julia, because the Julia was like the first big name that we started talking about. So Julia, obviously, she was very well known for her her time with Stardom, and then now she's been wrestling on Marigold, and she was first shown in WWE TV during WrestleMania weekend during Stand and Deliver. She was like standing there with William Regal, so that was like the first little taste of Julia. But obviously, as we all know, she had a little bit of an the wrist injury, right?
Yeah, recently. Well, now I think she's good now, right? She's no longer she cleared. Yeah.
So she had a wrist injury previously, but she recovered from it, and I think she recently had a match with Sari, who left NXT. So she's good. So the report is that she let's see. She has been finishing her time under contract with Marigold. So I guess they had a pretty short contract with her. And then she signed a deal with WWE for a long time, but she said she wanted to take care of her prior commitment. And after she's done with those dates, she will be coming to WWE. So WWE is going to Japan, I think, or they're already there, right? I think Jade's already there in Japan, right?
Yeah, there's something happening in Japan with WWE.
Yeah.
I don't, if it's happening now, wow, it happened faster than I thought. But yeah, they're doing something for sure.
Right. And speaking to Tokyo Sports, Julia said that I'm going to see it. And knowing how Stephanie Becerra was all over the live event in Mexico, I feel like Julia showing up in some of the live events is also a possibility. All right, what do you think about Julia potentially? I mean, it's basically happening, but what do you think about Julia joining WWE?
It's perfection. And we've been waiting for us. The real ones know we've been waiting for a long time for this. And, you know, when she showed up during Mania weekend at NXT, I was there and the stadium erupted and she looked so shocked. She wasn't even fathoming or thinking that she would get the reception that she was going to get. And we were like, girl, you're an icon. Like, what do you mean? What do you think? It was so cool to see though, but I'm so excited. I think when she gets into that NXT ring on television, it's just going to be so major. She's going to get the biggest pop ever. It's absolutely epic.
I'm seeing some comments saying that she should be joining Damage Control.
Ooh.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah.
I would not be mad at that. Never thought about that, but I like that.
And then Goldie's saying Damage Control just needs to stop. So we'll see. I mean, I feel like if Asuka come back and Julia join, I think it would be unstoppable. I mean, that's what I said when Kairi and Asuka joined, but here we are. I don't know, maybe Julia joining Damage Control, but honestly, I would like to see Julia. And this applies to both Stephanie and Delta. I want them to join NXT first because from what I've heard, the system, the wrestling in America is a lot different. And wrestling specifically for WWE is a lot different from wrestling everywhere else. So I think they just need that kind of familiarity process to like get themselves used to WWE process. Because I think there's an interview that Kairi did long time ago, and she was talking about how like it's so different wrestling for Stardom versus in WWE because Stardom you get to like practice everything beforehand, but WWE you kind of like jump in and gotta do stuff.
Yep. Well, and they're going to be dealing also with like a new, I don't want to say a new audience, but when they hit that in October, the CW stage, that platform, I think that's going to change some things too. And I keep thinking about that because I'm like, October is right around the corner and this could mean a whole new wave for marketing. I mean, we could just be seeing a whole new side of NXT that we haven't seen before. And to have, Julia there, Stephanie. I mean, this is, I don't know. I think there's just going to be some really cool and crazy things, but I'm so excited for Julia and Stephanie.
Well, let's talk about Stephanie Becerra.
Yeah.
So Stephanie, she had a bit of a controversy recently because she just recently abandoned her commitment to CMLL and New Japan to sign with WWE. And, she really became the hottest name in the industry after that banger of a match with Mercedes Moné in Forbidden Door, which I was pretty bold saying this, but like, I was like, for the first time, I feel like Stephanie like out wrestled Mercedes. I should not say this
Mm.
because Mercedes fans will come to cancel me real quick. But no, I mean, obviously Mercedes, she's a wrestling goat. But I think at least what I saw is that she let Stephanie really shine, because Stephanie was
Mm.
like the star of that match. And right after that match happened, she got picked up by WWE. So
Yeah.
right now, there's no timetable on when she will be joining NXT, when she will debut. But people
Mhm.
are guessing it's sooner than later. She did do 2 matches during Mexico live events, so she already wrestled within WWE brand, but
Right.
no sense of when she'll be on TV. She did say, "We will see." What did he say? She did say on like this video they posted on social media, "NXT, see you soon." Um, and there's some
Love her.
interesting insight into how this all came about. So this is from Harry Ruiz, a sports reporter and
Mm.
Spanish language radio announcer for Las Vegas Raiders. And he said that AEW had a significant offer for Stephanie and really was
Mm.
close to closing a deal. And when Fakir was back in Mexico, she was like, basically everyone believed that she's signing with AEW. But
Mm.
apparently, hearing of this offer, Shawn Michaels, the Playgirl himself, called her directly and came basically laid out what his plan is for Stephanie, and apparently also
Mm.
uh, offered a very good monetary offer, which made Stephanie join WWE, saying "F you" to everyone else. CMLL, New Japan, who, AW, who, WWE it is. What do you think?
I think she made the right call. I mean, just on a simple basis of the fact that this was her dream. This was her dream to go to WWE. She stated this in the past. So I thought that the conversations on social media were so interesting to me. It seemed as though people were mad that she was like going to WWE and like flipped off AEW. And I'm like, we weren't in the rooms to know exactly how those negotiations went. But I'm like, I can't tell the girl, oh my gosh, you went to WWE. How dare you? That was her dream. I mean, take it. You got this one shot. Go ahead, take it. This is a
Right.
golden time. This is a golden era now again in WWE. So why not? And her English, I don't know how well she is with her English speaking. I know that was a point of conversation too on social media. I think she'll be fine. She has time to work on that, I feel. I think she'll be completely fine. So
And also, let's be honest, everyone's a freak. All the wrestlers are independent contractor. So I don't
yeah.
know why companies would be mad, because they are ready to drop them whenever they want to. So when the wrestlers drop them, they're mad. Whatever.
Make it make
But
sense.
yeah, make it make sense. Let's talk about Delta. So Delta is a
Mm.
very recent news. So Fight for the Select just reported that WWE has agreed a deal with Australian independent star Delta Brady. Delta took a part in a tryout for the Elimination Chamber era, because remember they were in Australia for that. So she did a tryout then. Basically, so I know a little bit about Delta, but only because
Mm.
of Mickie James's her. She did an event, all women's event down in Australia, where Mickie James faced Alicia Fox, Fix Crow, and Delta
Mhm.
was actually the one that faced Knockouts champion Jordan Grace for a Knockouts championship. And Mickie James talked like a lot about how like just cool Delta is. She's a powerhouse.
Mm.
What do you tell me what you know about Delta?
I'm a little familiar with her. Being at PWI, that's how I came to know more about Delta. I haven't seen a ton of Delta's matches, but of what I have seen, she is a powerhouse. I think that she's someone it's intriguing that in a sense a lot of people as well aren't really familiar with her. So when the news started coming out and the rumors that she was going to be signed, loads of folks were like, "Oh, who's Delta? What's going on?" But then I saw some people who like really they were keyed in and they were like, "Oh, Delta's a really great get." And so this also puts more eyes on once again the scene of wrestling overseas. And I really think that WWE, they're just putting their stakes everywhere now in all
Right.
different countries and really showing people, oh, hey, this is someone you should check out. So I love it. I can't wait
And
to see how she stacks up.
yeah, and the chat is really big Delta fans. Like there's tons of Delta
Yeah.
fans in our chat. So okay, obviously
Wow.
Delta has everyone has taken notice of how amazing Delta is. So that's really good news. And Delta is a very different look from everyone else. And lately, yeah, like NXT, does NXT have like a powerhouse wrestler right now? I guess Lash is like the only one.
Legend, maybe?
Yeah, Lash Legend is. She uses a lot of power moves.
Yeah.
I can't think of anyone. So I feel like Delta will have a really good spot in NXT, being the monster heel of sorts.
Oh yeah.
But let's talk about Jordynne Grace, the current Knockouts champion, because she's also in the mix of names that's being mentioned as someone that will be joining WWE real soon. So Jordynne Grace she's been the knockout. She's been the face of Knockouts division since, well, she hasn't been the face since 2018, but she's been with TNA for 2018. But like for the last year or so, she's been the face. She's just absolutely amazing. And then last summer, she signed a new deal with the promotion. There was some speculation if she'll be going to AEW or whatnot, but she's joined a new deal. And then recently in an interview, she just revealed that her contract is up in January this coming year. And Fightful actually did a little more digging into it. So originally, her contract was supposed to go till summer of 2025, but she just amended her contract and changed it to expire in January 2025, which means I feel like she thinks something's going to happen right after her contract's done. If she went out of her way to change her contract, right? That's speculation, of course, but
that'll be a cool full circle, I feel. If, she just, because of the Royal Rumble, she just comes and she's signed right away.
Of course, all of you know that Jordynne Grace was a surprise entrant for Royal Rumble. She came in with the Knockouts Championship, which was really cool. And then she challenged Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. So she's been like showing up in NXT. She's been showing up in WWE programming for a couple times, and she's been impressing every time she's been here. So WWE also, so Fightful also reported that WWE sources said they have a very good impression with Jordynne, and that they will be interested in signing her once her TNA contract is over. And the one very important news I have to add is that, well, it's not news, but my insight is that Jordynne Grace is a Diva stan. There is a video floating around of her literally just like breaking down, crying in front of Alicia Fox. She I think she revealed her like either Diva Dirt or like some kind of those like old like Diva website. Like she was a big fan. Like, so she is a big Diva stan.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was surprised too, because I was like, I didn't necessarily see her as a diva, but then I saw some of her like more sexy photo shoots, and I'm like, oh, she's a diva.
She's in. She's Diva.
I think she wants to come to WWE. I can see that.
Oh, it's happening. I if it doesn't happen, I'd be like, what are we doing here? But she's going to WWE. I think there's just no two ways about it. And once again, gonna get that huge pop. She's also a powerhouse. She's fantastic. I'm so happy for her. I'm so glad everything's just coming together like this.
The only thing I'm a little worried about is that Knockouts division has been basically all they've been doing for like last couple of months is just like Jordynne Grace Open challenges, which I'm kind of annoyed about, because she didn't even defend her title that much against their own roster. So that's been so if Jordynne leaves, I feel like we'll be in the same space where TNA was like earlier this year after like Mickey and Naomi left. Mickey and Trinity left, and they have just like this void of stardom. At least like Trinity really propped up Jordynne for that spot, but since she left, it was just Jordynne's show all along. I'm a little worried about that. There is a super chat that we want to talk about. So it's from Bree Gal.
Hi, Bree.
Thank you so much for super chat. Hope Julia doesn't get the Saray treatment, because they literally did nothing with her besides that stupid schoolgirl gimmick and kicking Mandy's blonde hair.
Well,
I have my thoughts. But what do you think?
I don't think that's gonna happen with Julia. I hope. I don't. I just can't see the way that they've been propping her up. It's kind of on the same wave as, even though they're two completely different wrestlers, but on the same wave that they've propped up Jade. Just the anticipation before actually having her first match in the company. I feel like they're really elevating Julia in that sense too. They're giving us the mystery, they're giving us the intrigue and the anticipation. And I just don't think that they'll relegate her to, that type of storyline at all. I think she's just going to come in, get that huge pop, and it's going to be all systems go with Julia.
Yeah, Julia has a bit of a different. I think Julia has a lot of different, like, I don't know what's the word for it. Like, she's got a different
Mm,
like vibes from all the Joshi wrestlers that came to
yeah.
WWE. Because I feel like, and this is me just saying, like, marketing wise, I think she has a look that will appeal a lot more to Western audience. And I'm saying that as
Mhm.
someone who came from Korea.
Mm.
So don't come for me if you don't like what I said. But I think she has a look that will appeal a lot more to the Western audience. And this might be a hot take, but I personally love the
Mhm.
stupid schoolgirl gimmick. I
Yeah, I
love
don't think there's
it.
anything wrong with it.
No, people hated it, and I
There's room
understand
for
why
that,
people
though.
hated it. And people are like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, they give her a
Yeah.
Japanese schoolgirl gimmick because she's
Exactly.
But guess
Yeah.
what? I freaking love Sailor Moon. I love my Nettie. I love my wedding peach. I love the freaking like magical girl trope, and I'm sure Saray loves it too. I don't know. I never asked her. I feel like she's the one that came up with it because I don't imagine anyone in the creative team in NXT like, let's do
Mm.
magical girl genre because I don't think they would know. But Saray case is very I gotta say I didn't know much about Saray until after she left
Mhm.
WWE, and I saw some of her
Mhm.
matches in like Marigold, and she's freaking so good. So I don't know what
Yeah.
went wrong with NXT, but I think there was just some kind of like miscommunication of what she wanted to do with that,
Mm.
say, magical girl gimmick,
Yeah.
or being a more serious. What was her gimmick, like
Two
Empress of
different
the
visions. Yeah,
Princess
it
of
was
Son of
like
Winter?
it was oh no, I'm thinking something else. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, why can't I
But I think
remember?
there was
That's
something that
horrible.
just wasn't translating very well in NXT. But you know what?
Yeah.
That's something that is a real thing in NXT. Like
Mhm.
this happens to everyone. This happens to Stephanie. This will
Yeah.
happen to Stephanie. This will happen to Julia, Delta, everyone. You will
Mhm.
have to readjust yourself a little bit
Yeah.
to match that WWE style, the NXT style. And one of the examples that we saw, Deonna Purrazzo, her Virtuosa gimmick. I love Virtuosa
Mhm.
gimmick. I love Deonna Purrazzo. That
Me
worked really well
too.
in TNA, and she's really showing that side in AEW. That
Mhm.
didn't really translate with WWE. I mean, that was a problem back then because they also gave women like 2 minutes a show. But like now,
Exactly.
maybe it might be different. But I feel like there are gimmicks that doesn't necessarily work in WWE platform. So I
Mhm.
think they all need some tweaking to do. So unfortunately,
Yeah.
Saray kind of fell through the cracks, which is really sad. I'm
Yeah.
so glad that
Sorry.
Dwayne mentioned Camille because I was like,
Me
while talking
too.
about all these women that WWE is like waiting to bring in, I was like, Camille signed with AEW like gazillion
Was it
years.
last year? I feel like it was we need answers. We need
Like,
answers,
where is
Tony
he?
Khan. Like, what's
Where
going
is
on?
he?
Like, this is serious business though, because Camille is someone that shouldn't be on the shelf. I'm just
Yeah.
like, so what is the issue? Is it booking? Is it character? What's happening?
While we're wrapping up the story, I'm gonna do a poll. Who are you most excited out of these four? Let me do that. Let me
Mm.
write that real quick. I need a mic stand. Who are you?
As I'm looking at the chat, let me see.
All right, the chat is up. Let's see
Okay.
who you guys are most excited about. I mean, I feel like maybe
Hmm.
like we already see that Jordan Grace fits there perfectly.
Oh, for sure.
And I mean, I watch TNA like obviously for weekly review, but I personally love Knockouts Division. So I watched Jordan Grace. I watched Jordan Grace like her meteoric rise in the TNA. So I'm really excited to see
Mhm.
how far she'll go in WWE because I feel like sky's the limit. Who's your pick
Yeah. Sorry,
out of the
I was
four?
so out of the four. Hmm. As I'm looking at the picture, I it's hard. I'm toggling between Jordan and Julia,
Mm. Yeah.
but I see this is why these four signings are so stupendous, because each of them in their own right are just phenomenal. So it's just hard to even I'm just curious to see how the booking's going to go with all
Right.
of them. And to be quite honest, I don't think that for either of them they're going to stay in NXT for that long.
Oh.
Perhaps given if there is a really big language barrier, right? This is just speculation.
Mhm.
They might keep someone like Stephanie Vacquier in NXT a little bit longer. But I still feel like all of these women are just adaptable, and I can just tell that they are quick learners. Like, I really don't think either of them are going to stay that long in NXT. Like,
I see.
seriously and truly.
Yeah.
Even if one of them would be the one to, dethrone Roxanne, which is
Mm.
pretty much what a lot of people are thinking. But
Yeah, and our
yeah.
Bellkeeper also said, JC Blue also said, I feel like Julia will be one to defeat Roxanne and become champion. I think that would be really
Mm.
cool. Orlando also said, I love your Divas Championship, by the way, Orlando. So the Bellkeeper who's been here with us for more than a year, they got the Divas Championship because it is Ring the Bell. It
Yay.
seems like Tony takes too long to create a story for someone after being
Hmm.
signed for several months in AEW. Yeah, because Camille's just like
Yeah.
in a queue, and someone just also mentioned Megan. What's her last
Yeah,
name?
what's Megan Bain? What's
Megan
up with
Bain.
Megan Bain?
Yeah,
She's
she's
been signed
also
for long.
right.
Yeah, she's been signed much longer than Camille. I think she was, what are we, 2024? I think, was she signed maybe in top of 2023?
Maybe,
It's
yeah.
been a long time with her.
Right. But honestly, like I
Mm.
personally I'm very happy with where AEW women's division's going. It's really
Mhm.
improving like a lot.
It
The
is.
prime reason that my weekly reviews got so long is because AEW women's division have been kind of swaying. So I'm not gonna complain yet. Like I know that there's a lot of people, like including like Jamie Hayter and then like Nyla Rose is
Mhm.
never on TV until recently. So there are a lot of people that should be on TV, but I'm like not gonna complain right now because like, they're really trying. I'm like, I
Mm.
see you, Tony, you're trying.
Oh, you know what? I have to bring this up because this is just an interesting question from
Mhm.
Charles Music Room. Too many divas coming up. Do you think WWE should just buy TNA and make it the fourth brand?
Too many divas coming up. Do you think W should? Oh, interesting.
Right?
Wait, I
I
don't
don't
understand.
know.
Too many divas coming up. Wait, what? Wait,
So
like too many divas. Are you talking about
I guess
just
there's just a
women's
lot.
wrestlers in general? Well, Charles, I love your question because
Yeah.
let's talk about should WWE buy TNA? I
Hmm.
honestly don't want to. I don't. Generally, I don't.
Yeah.
I like the competition in industry. I like
Mm,
the competition in industry, and I don't want to see WWE like buy TNA and like,
me
because
either.
the competition in the industry is so healthy. I
Yeah.
want, Ash by Elegance didn't go all the way to be back in Triple H's um booking. She didn't run all the way there. Mustafa Ali didn't run all the way there to be back in Triple H's control. So let them breathe. But Charles, I think that's a really good segue. And we're going to
I
talk
like
about
that.
David's super chat too, because I think it really
Okay.
fits this next topic. Boom! Our next topic is the
Mhm.
Midcard Championship. So there are rumors
It's
going around
exciting.
with the mid-card titles coming to WWE. So this
Mhm.
is news from early July. WWE considering 2 new titles for women's division. So there has been reports about the potential creation of women's United States Championship and Intercontinental
Mhm.
Championship representing each brand. Sean Ross talked about it. He said there have been multiple discussions about it from multiple sources, but
Hmm.
nothing is confirmed. And he later added, I just heard that they were discussed, not that they're like happening as of yet. And then
Mhm.
PW Nexus tweeted out saying that WWE is already working on introducing 2 mid-card women's title.
Wow.
So 2 different reports. One saying that it's just getting discussed, but literally Diva stands or women's wrestling fans discuss this every other week. So, and then PW Nexus is saying that they're working on it. So
Mhm.
interesting. And I did some like stats. I looked into the stats. So there are currently
Mhm.
37 women total on
Wow.
main roster, plus 5 inactive women, as in like maternity leave, injuries,
Mhm.
whatever. 21 women on Raw, 15 women on SmackDown. Right now, we only have
Hmm.
4 women that holds championship. So 2 belts and 1 champion or tag team championship belt,
Mhm.
which means it's around like 8 to like 12 women being involved in a championship storyline, unless we get like non-title feud, which we rarely get.
Mhm.
Which means we have a huge bulk of women's division just off TV in catering, eating food, or like just waiting for their next thing, or like what's happening right now. There's just a lot of
Yeah.
staples, and they're just helping out on the side. What do you think, Candace?
Oh, I love the possibility of this. I think for so long there has been chatter about, oh, we need new titles. Are there going to be new titles in the mix for the women? Now the possibility is certainly here. It's upon us. I feel as though, we were talking earlier also about tag team titles and the importance of that. And I think also they need to really tack that down as well. And I think that's going to be something that people are going to talk about too. They're going to say, oh, well, we have these 2 new titles. What's going on with the tag team titles and the importance thereof? But that's a whole other discussion. But I like the fact of these 2 titles in the mix. We shall see, because it's also about the importance. What importance are they going to lay on the titles instead of just having them there? So,
right. I like the idea of 2 new titles coming to WWE because it presents the opportunity for more women to have a storyline going. But we know how tag team championship has been booked. Alba and Isla are the current champions. They're barely on TV, and I honestly don't even know what their gimmick is. Like, I don't even know what their deal is. Like,
right.
are they cowards? Are they like coming up with some witchy plans? I'm not sure. And Bianca and Jade, literally the top 2 biggest names in the women's division, are currently involved with the tag division. They are like just roaming around, right?
Yeah.
That said, and also, like, we saw even freaking Sasha and Naomi walked out because they were not being booked well with the tag team championship. So do I have faith that WWE will book these titles well? I honestly don't. But I do like the possibility. Because, Candace, do you watch men's wrestling too? I obviously don't, as you guys all know. Are they doing a good job with Intercontinental? And I think Intercontinental is pretty popping, right? And US is
I think I think the legacy that they have and what they're doing with those titles is pretty good. I don't have any qualms about it. And that's the thing though, right? I mean, and I'm not trying to say WWE, AEW, pitting them against each other. I'm just laying out an example. So when we're looking at AEW and we see all these titles, right? It's not just about having the title. It's like, what is the importance that the title is holding? And that in and of itself is really something to think about. You can have the title, but then if you're seeing it constantly being shifted, or, it just seems like it's just not as important as some other titles, that becomes a problem. And then if you have a lot of titles in one company, it's like, okay, so there's a title for everything. What are we doing? That's something that people, right. But that's notwithstanding, I think, especially within the women's division and for WWE, having these 2 titles are certainly important. I'd just be curious about, how are you going to book this? What when someone gets these 2 titles, what does that mean? Like, what is the importance that you're going to give? Because we don't want to see it like how the tag team titles are being, shifted and sometimes just neglected. So yeah.
I forgot to wrap the poll from the last one. So Julia is 39%. You guys are most excited to say Julia. Jordan Grace is next. Stephanie and Delta's 4%. I thought you guys were really into Delta in the chatting room, but I guess not. No, Delta will be amazing. But I'm gonna just start a poll here. Do you want the titles or no? So I'm gonna do that. Do you want to see women's mid-card title? Yes and no. I'm just gonna do yes and no because everyone's gonna be like yes, but let's just do yes and no. And I want to talk about the super chat. Thank you so much, David, for sending a super chat. Do you think NXT will bring back the NXT women's tag team, since there are a lot of teams forming recently, and who should dethrone Roxanne for the title? There's 2 different questions. Okay, so I honestly, I think this is the same conversation as a mid-card championship conversation, because we had title there, we had title in main roster, and both were like not getting booked well. But honestly, with Shawn Michael booking it, I honestly see it popping.
Legit. I feel like, and I agree with you 1000%. Chef Shawn is not missing. The man is he's making 5-course meals for us every week. PLE's just amazing all the time. He lets us care about these feuds and these characters. And now that they're bringing in, Stephanie and Julia and Delta, yeah, I
Yeah,
think bringing back the NXT Women's Tag would be really, really legit.
they're cooking something really special down there with Shawn Michaels and amazing creative team. Literally like 10, 15 women all having a storyline. We all know who they are,
Yeah.
how different they are from each other. So I want to see the women's tag team championship down there because at least there I have a little bit more faith. Who do I want to see dethrone Roxanne? I guess I'll just say Julia, like everyone's saying. I see the vision.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. Oh, really? I know it's just a little off track. I don't know if you saw the chat, but apparently Camille just debuted on Dynamite. So
Oh,
I think we manifested that. I
we
really think
really manifested. Wow. That is
That's
so
awesome.
funny. Camille just debuted. Okay, that will be in part of the review, but
Definitely.
we made that happen, guys. We made that
We
happen.
did. Go team. Love
And
it.
then we got a chat from our amazing member, Nerdy Dude 247. A women's
Mhm.
United States belt looks like it was made for Cody Rhodes. Maybe it's Brandy Rhodes coming back to take it. Thank you for
Oh,
amazing content. Yes,
that
thank
would
you,
be
thank
great.
you. Yeah. That'd be great. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think I honestly see a lot of people like they're against bringing a new title because
Mm.
like the reasons that you mentioned, championships needs to be special. Like AEW
Yeah.
has everyone and their mother have some kind of championship. I'm very thankful that at least women's division don't have that many championship, but I feel like everyone is champion.
Right.
For men. So it kind of brings down the specialty of who the champion is. But on top of that, just the booking isn't there. If the booking isn't there, like what's the reason for bringing the title? But yeah, I would be down.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
We're gonna manifest that as well.
Let's see what the
Yeah.
poll is saying. So 86% yes and 14% no.
Wow.
So I know that everyone in Ring the Bell is like a big women's wrestling fans. We support the women, we support the female wrestlers. So I feel like people saying no is because of what you said, the reasons that you said. Yeah, so that is it for the 3 stories that we prepared for. Oh no, where'd it go? Okay. Let's open up for a quick Q&A. We're gonna do that for like maybe like 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then wrap up and we're gonna go see what happened with Camille. Or should we can you pick some good questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. Let me see. I'm seeing some good comments. Okay. And I think I see a super chat. Yeah, I think folks they're still over the moon about Camille finally debuting. Oh my goodness.
So I'm seeing Camille came to attack Britt Baker.
Really?
And she came in as like basically Mercedes like bodyguard.
I think I like this.
That is interesting. Huh.
That's kind of cool. Would never have guessed that would be a thing. Huh. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of questions popping up now. Oh, Hector Quintanilla. Thoughts on AJ Lee return possibility?
It will show up on the screen.
Can you do it? Let me see. If I click on it or join the chat. Okay.
Just click it on StreamYard.
Where are you, Hector? I'm going up. Oh, it's not letting me.
Okay. Oh, Hector, thoughts on okay, is it this one? Hector, thoughts on AJ Lee return possibility?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Candace, what do you think?
I want this to happen so bad, but it's like every time I think there's a possibility, it just gets shut down. So for example, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, I was reading, people were thinking, apparently CM Punk is training AJ Lee in Ring. Now I know this is true because they were both working on Heels, the TV show, and that was due to that. But at the same time, it seems like this is something that they're still, he's apparently still training her. I don't know if this is fact, perhaps rumor. But then after I read that, it just seems like someone put in the stratosphere, no, it's not happening. She doesn't, they were like, reminder, she just doesn't want to come back to wrestling. She does writing now. She's doing her comic books and graphic novels and things of that nature. Like, she's working on scripts. Like, she's completely immersed in writing, it seems. But I would love to see AJ Lee come back, even if just for an appearance. But I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, I think AJ will have to come back to WWE in some form, because I know that Roxanne's like, AJ, mother, come back. I know it's happening. But I also saw her just talking about like a full list of all the projects that she's involved with. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I honestly don't see her coming back in like a full term, like full time or like part time capacity. But honestly, like Royal Rumble,
yeah, she could do that one off. Yeah.
Honestly, I could see her like calling Triple H and like, if you make Roxanne win, I'll come back for Royal Rumble. Yeah.
I mean, that would be perfect.
I think it has to happen soon. It's just a matter of time, because knowing AJ Lee, she seems like a perfectionist, and I think she's just waiting for.
I agree with you there.
Yeah, she's just waiting to be in that peak condition and everything.
Yeah.
I saw this really good chat someone sent.
What's that?
Okay, let's see. It is Lucario. It's time to create AEW Women's Tag Team Championship. Hell yeah. I mean, we're talking about WWE adding 2 titles, but honestly, who really needs it?
That's weird that they do not have a Women's Tag Team Championship yet. Sometimes I just wonder what's going on. You would think by now that they would have that, but we'll manifest that too. We manifested Camille tonight. We're going to manifest the Women's Tag Team Championship 1000%.
And JC Blue had a comment. I feel like for non-title feuds, I would love to see Jade versus Bianca, or even Damage Control versus the Stud Line. Is the Stud Line the way to go? Not the lesbians?
Is that a real thing? Yo, the Stud Line. I love it. That's amazing. That's amazing.
I honestly, I mean, I understand how like we need to have healthy non-title feuds going first before we can actually talk about adding championship, because if they're not even doing non-title feuds, right, what faith do we have that they're going to do well with the non or additional titles, right? Bianca and Jade will happen. It's bound to happen. I really thought it was going to happen at SummerSlam, but even till now they're like not doing much, so I'm kind of a little confused about it. But I want to see that happen. And Damage Control versus just Stud Line, I think that's bound to happen.
The Stud Line. That's such a great. We're keeping that. Let me see here. SummerSlam predictions from Benito. Liv versus Rhea and Bayley versus Nia. Who will be in the Women's Championship?
Liv versus. Okay, let's quickly go through that. Liv versus Rhea. Who do you think is winning?
You know what? I think Liv is gonna retain.
I think so too. Liv needs to retain. If she loses right away,
then it's like exactly. Then it's like, okay, great storyline. Storyline's awesome, but okay, it's too soon. We need this to fester some more.
Right.
And Bayley versus
Nia. Who do you think?
I'm going with Bayley, actually.
I really think it's time for Nia to be the champion.
You think it's time for Nia?
She's put over Rhea. She put over Becky last year. I think, but I feel bad saying that, because Bayley's championship reign has been really, really, really sad. Honestly, her WrestleMania moment, literally fans were so excited to see her win the title. But she's been stuck in backstage every time, being like harassed by Blair Davenport and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. But, no, I think it's time for Nia, to be honest.
I see where you're going. Yeah.
And we can get really juicy with Tiffany, right?
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Let's make this our last one.
Okay.
This better be good. Just kidding. Thank you so much for this. Kendall Avion. I think that they should only add one belt, like women's, global, or television title, and let them travel across Raw and SmackDown. Honestly, I'm down for that idea. I am down for that idea, because let's be honest, like 2 belts, 1 in each, I have no faith. Like while even saying, I was like, yes, we want it. I'm like, do I want it? Will they like throw it into the trash can again? So one belt, so they can travel to both, like how
Yeah, to both
tag team is. That could be
both
cute.
shows. I
Good
like that a
idea.
lot too, Kendall. Good stuff.
Honestly, just Chelsea should just bring back the Divas
Look,
Championship.
I'm waiting for that, honestly. I think that would just be perfect.
That would
Why
be perfect.
not? What's the problem with it?
And she could just go around. She could be on every show.
Ex-
Honestly, would love that. Yeah.
We love Chelsea. We love it.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you so much, everyone, for joining in for our first news and rumor episode. I think it went pretty well, didn't
I
it?
think so too.
Yeah.
I think
Our
so too. You know, we great conversation,
chemistry.
manifestations.
We got good
Yeah.
chemistry. I knew. And then, of course, Candace is a journalist. She's a journalist, so she knows what she's talking about. So I think, and then you guys, all the
Yeah.
participation really made it. So thank you so much for joining
So
in.
wonderful.
So we're planning to do
Thank
this
you.
once every week. So either Wednesday or Thursday. We're gonna figure it out. But yeah, so we're gonna do it every week. And yeah, what did you think about all the news that we talked about? Do you
Yeah.
want to see more of Tamina and Natalya in WWE? Who are you most excited to see in NXT? And whether you want to see the mid-card titles stick around or happen or be created. What am I even saying? I'm like losing my mental capacity. Do you want to see mid-card titles coming to WWE? All right, Candace, where can we all find you?
Yes, please follow me on Twitter at Candace, Candace Cordelia, just like my name that you might be able to see at the bottom. Twitter, I like IG a bit more, so definitely follow me there at that girl Candace 16. And please go to pwi-online.com and go to the PWI social media accounts and just let us know what you think. Let us know the PWI 500 and the Women's 250 are coming soon. So I know there's going to be a lot of conversation on the Women's 250. Can't wait to hear your thoughts.
Absolutely. When is that coming out?
Oh goodness. So July Women's 250, actually, I believe it's going to be not the next issue, but the one after that. So that should be around October-ish, I believe.
And you can
November.
find me at DS Shin at Instagram and Ring the Belle DS on Twitter. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Yay,
Thank you, everyone,
bye.
for joining. Bye.